In the first two parts of this series, we showed you how to remove the top latch mechanism and then replace the leaking seal in the top latch hydraulic ram. Now let's put it all back together by drying up any drips, and then we're going to place the top latch mechanism back into the windshield header area. Fully extend the actuator rod on the hydraulic ram so that we can thread it back into the attachment block on the latch mechanism. We're going to use our 7mm and 10mm open-end wrenches to tighten the ram back onto the latch mechanism. As we tilt the hydraulic ram back down, notice the numbers stamped on the cylinder. On the passenger side, the numbers 44 and 47 should be on top. These will coincide with the small tag on the steel lines, or you can trace it out to the distribution block in the center of the windshield header. Here I'm using a black marker to highlight those numbers on the distribution block and on the passenger side hydraulic ram. We can now reattach the hydraulic ram to the latch mechanism using our 4mm hex drive bolts. Now you can use a little of the blue type thread locker on them. Just make sure everything's very tight. I'm now ready to remove that clear plastic tubing. I'm just going to trim it away a little bit, and then we can insert the steel hydraulic lines into the feed and return ports on the hydraulic ram. Now on the spring clips we reattach the steel lines. One side is very slightly longer than the other side, so make sure that that one goes into the aluminum hydraulic cylinder body and the short side stays to the outside. The whole top latch mechanism fits into a cutout at the top of the windshield header bar. I'm going to start the 3 Torx head T30 bolts by hand. Again, you can use some thread locker if you'd like, but you definitely have to make everything tight. I'm going to reattach the electrical plug and then move over to the driver's side. This is going to be pretty much a repeat of the passenger side. Clean out the work area, make sure that you firmly attach the hydraulic ram to the latch mechanism, and be sure to orient the numbered ports on the hydraulic ram to match the driver's side steel lines. It's number 49 and 46 on top on the driver's side. I'm going to highlight these with a red marker. I'm ready to remove the plastic tubing that has kept the hydraulic fluid from leaking out, and then I'm going to position the hydraulic ram cylinder where I can put the steel lines in, and then I'll insert the clips and I'll use a pair of pliers to crimp those in firmly. Once again, a little blue thread locker isn't going to hurt as we put in our 3 T30 Torx drive bolts and tighten everything down firmly. I'm almost done, but right after I plug in the electrical connection, but before I put the header cover back on, I'm going to want to run a little test. With the cover still off, operate the top switch. You should see some movement but no leaks from the latch mechanism. On the driver's side, however, notice in the upper right, one of the steel lines is loose. So I'm back with the pliers to reseat all 4 lines on both sides. Once we're confident that the latch mechanism can move without the hydraulic ram or lines leaking, we can put the header bar cover back on the top of the windshield. Now, all of this leaking and testing since the beginning of the repair has probably left the hydraulic reservoir down a little bit from the top. So let's head back to the trunk, where under a plastic cover that's under the spare tire is the pump that runs the top hydraulic mechanism. Attached to this pump is a hydraulic reservoir that we're going to top up with some fluid. Big caution here, it is not brake fluid. Use only the official factory fluid from the Mercedes dealer or a hydraulic top fluid approved for this use. The lower line molded in the tank is the bare minimum, and the upper line is the maximum. Fill it up to the maximum line, but there's no reason to go above that. And that's all there is to your top latch hydraulic seal repair. Put the top back on the reservoir, put your spare tire back in the trunk, put the top down on your favorite roadster, and get ready to enjoy driving for the rest of the summer season and into the fall. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.